Welcome everyone to the second round of the season. Today we're here at the traditional round 2 at Shanghai, China. Race 1 was a really good Grand Prix, especially if you're Charles Leclerc. But will race 2 be any better? Lando Norris getting a surprise podium, surprise P2 actually, beating, one Alpine and both Alfa Romeos. However, as Carlos Sainz managed to get P3, Max Verstappen P7, not the best performance from him. And the Red Bulls of Valtteri Bottas and Daniel Ricciardo now looking competitive. Williams, they've just been, they've plateaued a little bit. They're there. And the new driver lineup of Force India of Giovinazzi and Piastri, that's going to be really interesting. Both drivers scoring points on their first races. Here's how constructor standings looks. After one race, Alpine with the lead. 3 points only is what separates Alfa Romeo and McLaren, but obviously it's only race 1. Anyways, let's head into qualifying. Favorite for quali, now there are 4 drivers, maybe even 5. You can get it. My favorite though, I have to say Carlos Sainz, just because he got pole last time and he managed to win this time last year around the circuit. Coming across the first few corners, looks like actually Alfa Romeo have the slight edge as we finish the first sector. Charles Leclerc's managed to claw back some time, but this season's so tight. It's going to be like Ferrari versus Mercedes in 2017 and 2018. It's going to be so close. Leclerc looks like he's going to steal pole. And yes, he does. Carlos Sainz P2. So another really good qualifying from Carlos Sainz. Once again, out-qualifying his teammate Max Verstappen, as rain hit right at the end of qualifying. Max Verstappen P3, beating George Russell. Finished P4, Valtteri Bottas ahead of his teammate Daniel Ricciardo, Lando Norris P7, Ocon and Gasly 8th and 9th, with Perez finishing off the top 10. Albon beating Schumacher to 11th, with Hulkenberg 13th, Giovinazzi 14th, Stroll 15th, Aylot and Tsunoda 16th, 17th. Magnussen struggled a little bit, he only got 18th. Piastri 19th and Mazepin 20th. Let's get into this race. I can't wait for this Grand Prix. We're all starting though on wet tyres. The rain is over the horizon. You can see the grey clouds. Anyways, lights out and away we go here. In China, looks like a really good start from Max Verstappen, being really aggressive. But he gets slightly forced out wide. Right now we have an Alpine 1-2. But for how long? Sainz is going to go down the inside of Verstappen and Leclerc. Can he get the move done? No, he can't. I think everyone's now managed to use all of theirs. As rain has arrived, Leclerc's going to go down the inside of his teammate George Russell. No, he can't do anything. What's that happened though? We just seen Daniel Ricciardo make a double overtake around the outside. The latest of the late breakers does it once again. Now he has his eyes up on George Russell. However, he will have to defend from Carlos Sainz first, who's now lost the position to Lando Norris. Norris now takes P4. Alfa Romeo slowly falling. Daniel Ricciardo though is on a roll. He's now taken P2. We thought Ricciardo had lost it. Obviously we're wrong. Leclerc just building up his lead, the reigning world champion. Could he become the first driver in history to win multiple world championships? Will it be George Russell who becomes the first driver, or even Max Verstappen, who's had a tricky start of the season? Could he make and break new records? Daniel Ricciardo keeps P2. We're seeing a move though by Pierre Gasly. He's gonna try on Carlos Sainz. No, nothing materializes from that. Although he does the undercut. He switches. Oh, nearly worked. Sainz taking back his P2. Ricciardo ahead of George Russell. You see Verstappen overtake Gasly. Verstappen overtaking Russell too. Now up to P3. Charles Leclerc though, looks like he's in a world of his own. Look at him, just putting in lap times. He knows as long as he keeps his concentration, it's advantage Charles. And 2 races in the season, I know we're only on lap 4 and it's early and we're only, second race in the season, blah blah blah. But, if he does manage to win the first 2 races of the season, that would be a massive statement in the championship fight. Anyways, it looks like the Alphas are going to begin to battle. Verstappen is going to make the move round the outside of Carlos Sainz. No, he doesn't. Anyways, what's that's happened? A few drivers have dived into the pits, most notably both Red Bulls. Giovinazzi also gets in, Mick Schumacher too, Stroll and Magnussen. Hülkenberg and Mazepin as well. But look at the gap that Leclerc is setting. He's just setting the pace. Sainz using some others just to get away from his teammate. Verstappen has a slipstream. No, I don't think he'll make the move. No, he won't. Everyone now diving into the pits. Oh, there's some big news. Apparently, there's meant to be some clear skies over the horizon. Anyways, will the undercut work for Daniel Ricciardo? The undercut indeed works. Daniel Ricciardo now on P2. Verstappen manages to dispatch his teammate really early up in turn 3. Verstappen though, will he keep the position or will Carlos Sainz go around the outside? Sainz is going to try the move. No, he doesn't make it. He doesn't make it. Charles Leclerc though, he keeps the lead of the race and the championship. Rain has stopped, however, as you can see the track is still really wet. Russell's going to try and move down the inside. He is on Max Verstappen. No, he can't get it done. This season's going to be a mad season, I can tell you that for sure. Russell though, just driving around the outside of Max Verstappen, making light work of it. Charles Leclerc though, what a race he's driven up to this point. He's managed to get pole, managed to dominate, he's managed to lead every lap. He could potentially do a Grand Slam, Daniel Ricciardo though, using the ERS. He has a lot of ERS to use. I think if I'm Daniel Ricciardo though, I'll be really happy with what Red Bull have done. I think by the time his tyres begin to really seriously hurt, as Carlos Sainz is going to try around the outside, Ricciardo just about gives him enough room. Gives him enough respect. Carlos Sainz is through. But I know Ricciardo is going to want that position back down the inside. The Honey Badger goes. The Honey Badger now has P2. And keeps it. But anyways, I was saying, Ricciardo will be really happy with this strategy. As long as he can keep Sainz and Russell behind him. He's doing that really well, but for how long can he keep this defense? This titanic defense, may I add. Sainz has got through. I think Russell too soon. And Verstappen as well. It's gone from phenomenal defense to down the drain in a matter of one sector for Daniel Ricciardo. Those tyres now just beginning to fall off the cliff as Max Verstappen is trying to move on George Russell. Both of them down the straight line speed. A back marker's pitted. I think we could see some drivers in. Yes, Russell, Verstappen, Ricciardo all in. Gasly too. Charles Leclerc stays out. I don't think anyone will be able to undercut Charles Leclerc just because of how dominant he's been and how big that gap is. Everyone, unsurprisingly, going on the hard compound tyres. But if I'm Carlos Sainz, I would be scared. I would be very... And Lando Norris especially. Norris should have pitted. Carlos Sainz down the straight. Max Verstappen. On the final corner. Oh, penultimate corner, sorry. Charles Leclerc's pitted. Charles Leclerc's come out. His gap's so big that he's managed to pit and come out on the soft tyres. Carlos Sainz though, he manages to keep P2. They rolled the dice, Alfa Romeo, sorry. And it looks like it may have paid off. Ooh! Verstappen's gonna try go around the outside. Uses some earth. Look at the grip that Alfa Romeo has though. Gonna use some errors. Down the straight, breezes past his teammate. His teammate has none left. However, Sainz once again leaving the door wide open for Max Verstappen just to walk through it, and Max Verstappen takes P2. The gap though between Verstappen and Leclerc is 7 seconds, even if Leclerc's tyres were to just completely fall off the cliff. That's nearly a whole pit stop ahead. If things, gets a little bit hairy, they have a free pit stop. Yuki Tsunoda getting in the way of Carlos Sainz, and once again, Max Verstappen takes that position. Further back, Pierre Gasly really battling for that 4th spot. Oscar Piastri not making it any easier for him. Ooh, Ricciardo's there as well. Don't count out Lando Norris, who's on the soft tyres. Rain is coming soon, so maybe the drivers on the soft tyres taking that gamble. Has it worked? I guess we'll see in the next lap or two. Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz goes really wide, and Verstappen nearly taking each other out. But everyone now beginning to struggle on those tyres, and Charles Leclerc, look at that gap. This may be the biggest winning gap in Unlimited Racing 2D history. The way it's turning out, he will be taking that record. He's just breaking records and making records of his own. Look at the gap. Verstappen ahead of Sainz, but that gap is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. 10 seconds. I don't think we've seen a gap as big as that. 10 seconds, wow. Honestly, with all those back markers the Alfa Romeos have to clear and battling each other, I only see this gap, increasing. This is records now. He knows he wants those records. Charles Leclerc. Max Verstappen, he has a fairly comfortable lead over his teammate. This is the biggest the gap has been for a while now. A good while. Now the race is just beginning to settle now. As the race is beginning to come to an end. Charles Leclerc though has done everything right. He's led every lap. He got pole position. He got the lead off the start. And it looks like he'll be celebrating his 2nd win of the season. Charles Leclerc crosses the line to win a very dramatic Chinese Grand Prix. What a race. 12.4 seconds. You can see that for yourself. Max Verstappen takes P2, his first podium in an Alfa Romeo. Carlos Sainz P3, P4 George Russell, P5 being Pierre Gasly, just beating Daniel Ricciardo P6, Valtteri Bottas P7, Lando Norris, not his best result for a while, P8, Esteban Ocon P9, and Sergio Perez rounding off the top 10, finishing P10. P11, Alexander Albon, with P12 being Mick Schumacher, P13 Antonio Giovinazzi, 14th and 15th being Magnussen Hulkenberg, 16th Lance Stroll, 17th Callum Ilott, 18th Yuki Tsunoda, 19th Oscar Piastri, 20th Nikita Mazepin. Although Max Verstappen took his first podium, I'm still not convinced, honestly. Charles Leclerc, the reigning world champion, the last 2 races has been in a league of his own. Honestly, look at the gap, the winning gap, 13.13 seconds. That's just unbelievable, honestly. That is unbelievable. Oh, Max Verstappen just about took fastest lap from him. But he was dominant all day. Charles Leclerc, he didn't have to push. It was an easy one for him, too easy, I think. George Russell, however, he's really struggled the first 3 races. Charles Leclerc, look at that now. 16-point leads to Carlos Sainz. George Russell P3 with Max Verstappen 1 point behind. Lando a further 2 points behind with Valtteri Bottas, the first of the 2 Red Bulls. Pierre Gasly sandwiched between the 2 Red Bulls, with Esteban Ocon 9th and Alex Albon 10th. On the same points as Alex Albon is Sergio Perez in 11th with 19 points, Mick Schumacher in 12th with 16, Giovinazzi with 13, Hulkenberg with 12, then Magnussen and Ilott both on 8, Stroll a point behind with Oscar Piastri in his debut season taking 5 points, and Yuki Tsunoda 3. Nikita Mazepin still yet to score. Constructors wise, Alpine already after 2 races have managed to reach 100 points. If things keep on going, same way, it looks like they could be on for a 3rd consecutive Constructors World title. How dominant have they been? However, as I said before, only 2 races is gone. 13 to go. Red Bull ahead of Mercedes now by 2 points, and McLaren there. I think that battle for 3rd is going to be so tight all year long. Red Bull, Mercedes and McLaren, bring it on, I guess. Williams, I guess you could say in a league of their own, with Ferrari, Force India, Haas and AlphaTauri battling them back. Next time out though, we go to South Africa. Go to Kyalami for the first African Grand Prix in decades, Honestly, I can't wait. Who will be the first South African Grand Prix race winner? I guess we'll find out in a few weeks' time. Thank you for being with me, and goodbye.